Financial independence or financial freedom. Financial independence is the status of having enough income or wealth sufficient to pay one's living expenses for the rest of one's life without having to be employed or dependent on others. Income earned without having to work a job is commonly referred to as passive income. Okay, and why am I talking about this? Do you guys think, dream, and wish to get financial independence? I know I do. Let me know in the comments what's your thought on financial independence and if you think you will ever reach that point. So when we talk financial independence, what do we know about financial independence? All most people think about is not having to work a job, being able to quit your job, walk in there and say, you know what, today I quit. I know a lot of people that think about that moment, talk about that moment, and even dream about that moment, as I said. But what do we have to do to get to that point? What are you doing to get to that point? Are you actually setting out a plan to get or reach financial freedom? Or you just talking about it and dreaming about it? Or you scratching lottery tickets and hoping that one day you might hit the lottery or you might hit that number? It's things that you can do, you can put in place to reach financial freedom. And I'm not saying I have financial freedom yet. No, I don't. But I am striving to it. I am making things happen to ensure that I reach financial freedom. I might reach it a little later in my life. Of course, retirement, I have no doubt in my mind I'm gonna have it by then. But everyone wants to speed up that process, No one really wants to be super old and have financial freedom because you're gonna feel like you didn't even get to enjoy your financial freedom. But me personally, I think I'm gonna get there. I might be a little old, but at the end of the day, building out that generational wealth is very important to me. That's why I'm doing this. I'm talking because the root of my channel was all about making sure people are aware of the different avenues to get a piece of the pie. So I just want to keep, some motivation in your mind. So when we talk about things that you can do to reach financial freedom, what are some things you can do? Are you making sure you're investing? I always invest on my channel. Are you putting away that extra money that you earn from overtime? Are you being conservative on your spending habits? There's a lot of things that you can do to start building towards that financial freedom. Me, I have an investing account. I have dividends accounts. I have a 401k. I have a retirement investing account. I have crypto, of course. That's a little risky one. Hopefully it builds me financial freedom. I have no doubt in my mind that it will give me something. But it's a lot of things that you can do. Are you paying attention to your credit? Are you making sure that you are keeping your credit low? I know I have a little bit of credit card debt too. I be seeing people like my girl, debt-free France. Oh man, trying to get that financial freedom and become debt-free, building her net worth. I be like, dang, I got a little debt. But that's, the typical average American has debt. Look at this right here. According to Google and Experian, the average American has $92,000 in consumer debt. That's not a number that, it just comes out of nowhere. The average American actually has that debt. If you actually think about, what we do. When you go get a mortgage, you're going to acquire debt. When you go get that loan to get that car, you're going to acquire the debt. And these are things that are necessities in our lives. So when we talk about generational wealth, that is mainly what I got my eyes on. Me, I'm going to be, doing well in my life, but I'm going to make sure that certain things that I had to go get a loan for might be a little easier for the next generation, my kids. For example, if you had to, most people in I know in my culture or how I grew up, most people, they turn 18. Next thing you know, they got to get out of their parents' house and, they got to get a car, get a job, all of that. Sometimes it's all at once. And that's even if they are living with their parents. Some people live with aunts and uncles. So the family dynamic means a lot. For example, I myself was out in the world. I had a car at 16, but luckily it was paid for by my dad. Thanks. And I had a job, and I worked a job throughout high school. And then as soon as I graduated, I went into the workforce. And throughout this whole process in my household, I was paying rent. Mom had hard love, that tough love. That tough love, which was good. It built me up and, made me good as a man. But I was paying, part of the rent, part of course, I was paying my own insurance, paying my own cell phone bills. And when you're in high school, you ain't got that much money, right? And I was paying bills like that. So I stayed not really making a whole lot of money, stayed bare minimum, check to check in high school. And then when I got out of high school, I went straight into the workforce and I acquired a job, a nice job with a 401k pension and all that. And I went on and got in the system, and I've been there for a long time since, which is good. I found a decent job. But soon after, I moved out of my parents' house, and I was still paying bills. Like when I got that job as 18, the amount of bills I had to pay went up also. So I was paying like a good chunk of change in rent. And it was because my mom wanted to make sure that I was paying the load and understood how to pay bills, and my income was actually needed in the house. Then eventually I went and got my own house, which I got a mortgage, which is a loan. And then I'm in debt. I'm in debt with the loan. And, from there, I'm living life. But I acquired debt. I know so many people that, that's not their story, especially the wealthy people. That's not their story. Their story is, they stay with mom and dad for a while. And, while they're staying with mom and dad, they acquire a decent job and they don't have to pay, rent or anything like that. They don't have to pay anything, and they stack their money until the point that when it's time for them to go get a home or go get a car, they can pay for it dang near cash money because, they are staying with their parent and stacking up before they go out in the world. So I don't know if we need to change the culture or what, but I do know when you can stay with your parent and maybe go to school or stack your bread, when you get out in the world, you're a lot better off. But I know so many people, they, grow up 18 to 20, they move out and they start going to acquire debt. So I'm going to try to change that dynamic with my family, my sons. I'm going to make sure that they have a little more leeway when it comes to that type of thing. I'm going to make sure that they have enough money to, buy a car, and that could be, cash money. That's going to be cash money. They're not going to get a car loan because so many people do that too. So many people aren't lucky enough to be able to go get a car. They have to get a car loan, which, is debt. I'm going to make sure they have that. And one of the ways I'm going to make sure they have that is starting right now. Neither one of my sons is older than 3 years old. Right now, at this moment, I have investing accounts solely with, growth and dividend stocks that could grow over time and mature. I have a few good growth stocks too, but safe dividend stocks. So the money I put away for them will add up. And by the time they are 18, they're going to have a chunk of money that they can do, A or B with. That's the type of things that we have to do to make sure the next generation is well off. As I said, me personally, I'm going to be good. I'm building up myself. I'm building up my net worth. But my main focus is on the next generation. I started a little late, but it's still time for me to acquire some wealth and gain. But I really want to make sure when I pass the baton, they can get what I have and have their own, and that is part of it too. And doing things like that, to do things like that, you have to educate yourself. You have to educate yourself on finance so you can educate the next generation. If you don't educate yourself on finance, what we talked about, this financial freedom may be hard to reach if you don't educate yourself and understand debt, understand assets, liabilities. I got a lot of information on my channel, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I do my informative videos, a lot of people, I guess don't want to see that. They want to see the stock picks. They want to see, the quick, tell me what to buy, tell me what to do. But to get financial freedom is so much more you have to understand. So much more you have to understand and do. So I'm going to come and I'm going to start doing a little bit more talks like this. It might be rants, but at the end of the day, I just want everybody to be able to get a piece of the pie and understand the different avenues to get it. Like financial freedom, I want to knock on this door. I want everybody on my channel to knock on this door. If I don't teach you anything, that's fine. If you don't learn anything by watching my content, that's fine. But if my content starts you to, start to look at different avenues to get a piece of the pie, start to look into financial freedom, that right there is what I want to do with my channel. So this is the first of many. I'm gonna come back, talk some more, because I be wanting to get a lot off my chest, and me talking about it actually motivates me for my situation too. All right, so I appreciate y'all checking me out. I appreciate y'all listening to me for a minute. Peace.